girls who menstruate before the age of 12 have a 10% higher risk of having a heart attack or stroke in later life, a new study suggests. This is compared to women who had been 13 or older when they started their periods. Those who had them younger also faced an increased chance of having pregnancy complications, an early menopause and a hysterectomy, which are all linked to cardiovascular disease, say the researchers. The study, by the George Institute for Global Health, University of Oxford, did not offer any explanation for the findings. Advertise and again reinvented by teens, but new research has found going through puberty early, before the age of 13, makes women twice as likely to suffer a stroke in later life, and the team said it was because they are prone to reduced blood flow in the body. This can lead to a reduced amount of oxygen reaching the brain, causing the death of tissue and leading to a potentially deadly stroke, experts warned. Furthermore, past research suggests the onset of puberty in girls has become earlier over the last few decades, and there is strong evidence that the increasing rates of obesity in children over the same time period is a major factor. +1 mguy.d. equals IAS 28C9B1F0 if DESRC equals http://i.dailymmail.co.uk/pics/2018/482A138F0005785271481 image A22_1503217049.jpg height equals 423 width equals 634 alt equals girls who menstruate before the age of 12 have a 10% higher risk of having a heart attack or stroke in later life, a study has found. Stock image, class equals blocks border img share, greater than earlier puberty linked to increased BMI. Several studies suggest a link between earlier puberty in girls and increased body mass index, BMI, over previous decades. U.S. pediatric and adolescent gynecologist in the U.S. Dr. Julie Powell said there are 3 potential causes for this earlier onset of girls' periods: obesity, chemical exposures, and social and psychological stress. We know kids are more obese now than they ever were in the history of our country, she told Stuff. Right now, about 1/4 to 1/5 of children are obese. Obesity in children has tripled in the last 30 years. She said that may be important because fat cells make estrogen, and the more fat cells you have, the more estrogen your body makes. An overabundance of estrogen, the main female sex hormone, could lead to earlier menstruation. Furthermore, 2 hormones control our appetite, she explained: ghrelin, which tells our bodies that we are hungry, and leptin, which tells us that we are full. There is a lot of interplay between the amount of fat cells that you make and how sensitive your body is to leptin, she said. It looks like the fatter you are, the more insensitive you are to leptin. And leptin itself may be involved in puberty, she said. Dr. Paul Koplowitz from the Department of Endocrinology at the Children's National Medical Center, Washington, in 2008 noted the trend for earlier puberty in girls and increased BMI over the previous 30 years. In his review of the medical literature for an article in the journal Pediatrics suggested that the hormone leptin may be the critical link between body fat and earlier puberty. The average age for a girl to start her periods is between 12 and 13, although there is some variation of this. The authors of the latest study, published in the journal Heart, said their results suggest girls who are under 12 when they first menstruate should get heart checkups more often. More frequent cardiovascular screening would seem to be sensible among women who are early in their reproductive cycle, or who have a history of adverse reproductive events or a hysterectomy, as this might help to delay or prevent their onset of cardiovascular disease, they wrote. Key findings: the team analyzed biobank data, which included records of 267,440 women up to the age of 69. Their findings show a strong link between all the conditions. Those who went through the menopause early, before the age of 47, had a 33% heightened risk of cardiovascular disease. This rose to 42% for their risk of stroke, after taking account of other potentially influential factors. Previous miscarriages were linked with a higher chance of heart disease, with each miscarriage increasing the risk by 6%. And stillbirth was associated with an increased risk of cardiovascular disease in general, 22%, and of stroke in particular, 44%. Hysterectomy was linked to a heightened risk of cardiovascular disease, 12%, and of heart disease, 20%. And those who had had their ovaries removed before a hysterectomy were twice as likely to develop cardiovascular disease as those who hadn't had these procedures. Young age at first parenthood seemed to be another risk factor, with each additional year of age lessening the risk of cardiovascular disease by around 3%. But the association between the number of children and cardiovascular disease was similar for men and women, suggesting that social, psychological, and behavioral factors may be more important than biological ones. The researchers explain that this is an observational study, so no firm conclusions can be drawn about cause and effect. They also point out that the age of first menstruation was based on recall, which may not have always been completely accurate.